Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I just recognized that I need to plug my phone in here. Hang on. Let me see here. Okay, we're having technical issues right out of the gate, which is always fun. So you guys get to understand that I'm human. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. This could literally, I know I say this a lot, but literally could be a training that literally gets you to understand how amazing the knowledge is that you already have and what you can actually do with it, right? Because once you understand, see, a lot of the things that we do in our life is we do it because out of necessity, and we don't ever really stop and inventory how valuable it really is. Because think about everything, every outcome you have created is an opportunity of you being able to understand what you're able to overcome. And there's lots of things that you have overcome that somebody else would give anything for them to be able to do the very same thing, right? And understanding how much sometimes when people are just in a tough spot, they just need to have some hope. And how you can give them hope is by sharing with them the things that you have gone through in order to support them in moving through whatever challenges that they have. But see, people do not value their journey. And that's why I am here to support people in knowing how to move through this stuff, right? Because it's priceless. Hey, original borrowed mule. I love that username. There's a story there that I would love to know more about. That original borrowed mule. Like that has tons of curiosity written behind it. Right? In fact, let me see. I don't know if I am going live. Should be going live on my other platforms. I don't know. Oh, I'm just going to take a guess. Oh, okay, cool. We got somebody there. So cool. So everybody just tell me where you're checking in from, because this conversation, I just found out, I'm telling on myself that the Potential Zone Group, the Potential Zone Group.com domain is no longer available. I just found that out. I didn't get a notification from it. So that's not available. So you need to get over to Facebook and search for the Potential Zone Group and join this, because I'm going to be sharing some things on my screen that is not going to be available on TikTok. So make sure that you get over there. I wish I could type a link in there. In fact, let me check something here really quick. Let me just check this really quick. I just forwarded it, and I want to see if it is up yet. Because if it is, then you can just go to the domain that I put in. Let's see, does it come up yet? It doesn't look like it. Oh, yep, go to Potential Zone Group. Hey, Kim, I'm glad you are here. Go to potentialzonegroup.com. Go to potentialzonegroup.com, join the group, because I am going to be sharing some very, very important information that I'm not going to be able to do on TikTok yet. This is part of, yep, we're streaming, we're live, good. Okay, cool. So go to potentialzonegroup.com. Stay here if you want, but in the potentialzonegroup.com, I'm going to be sharing lots of amazing things that I'm not able to do on TikTok yet. I will get there. And on TikTok, if I get to 5,000 likes, I'll give you guys a copy of my book, The Map to Your Fullest Potential. Massive, great information in there. That's why it's an international bestseller. And it just happens to be my life's work. So what I want to talk about is there are 4 levels of delivering value. Okay. Now, the most important thing in delivering value is for you to have the awareness of how valuable it really is. And I use this analogy a lot, and it's very poignant in saying, if you had the cure for cancer, well, before I say that, let me say this. What do you think is more valuable? To learn what not to do or to learn what to do? What do you think is more valuable? Right? What is more valuable? What not to do or what to do? And both of them are valuable. Don't hear that it's both of them are very, very valuable. But see, friends, understanding that experience is the most expensive way to learn anything. Experience is the most expensive way to learn anything. In fact, it is the most expensive thing that we have in life is what not to do, like what not knowing not what to do and knowing what to do, right? And so you have lots of experiences in your life that can shorten somebody's learning curve. And what's really important about that, anytime you can shorten somebody's learning curve, that means you have incredible value to offer to somebody, right? To a nurse, I have the muscle and the brain, even though I fell down a rabbit hole. There's another one. Like, you're just dropping these things out there, Original Borrowed Mule, that just talks about lots of curiosity. Like, that's a whole other statement in itself, right? So you understanding what is it that you've done in your life that could support somebody else in what they want to do. Now, I'm going to drop it. Like, here is, okay, I don't know if this is how it started, but I know this guy was instrumental in getting people into internet marketing. Okay. There was a guy by the name of Corey Rudel. Corey Rudel is no longer with us. He was killed in a racing accident. Oh man, probably well over 20 years ago. But he was one of the first influencers in really creating this space called internet marketing. And see, he was a car mechanic. And what he did is he wrote an ebook on how to not get taken advantage of by car mechanics. He sold it as an ebook and made lots and lots and lots of money. Then what he did is he took how he sold that ebook and put that in a package, and then he became hugely successful. He was one of the first guys that really came out with teaching people how to do internet marketing. There was another guy that wrote Wealth in Your Underwear or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know if that was Dean Jackson, but there's a number of pioneers that have been really instrumental in creating internet marketing like what it has grown into being today. And so my point in saying that was he was a car mechanic. Like, I sold millions of dollars of jewelry online, right? And so really understanding that the information that you have, somebody else wants it, because just think about what you had to go through in order for you to learn it, right? But see, this is the sham that I talk about often, is that we are so conditioned to believe that we have to go to college and that we need a certification in order for us to be able to do anything or have anybody hire us, which is not accurate, right? Like, some of the most wealthy people in the world, they don't have a college degree, right? And so when you understand what it is that you really want to create and then really get intentional about expanding your knowledge in that, I would love to pick your brain. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. Join the ROI Accelerator Challenge. Like, go join that, because there's going to be group coaching in that, and you're going to see things behind the scenes that I don't share with, obviously, in the public, right? Go join the ROI Accelerator Challenge. You will be glad you did, right? So thinking about what is it that what skill have you crafted that has created a better, abundant, and more abundant life for you, right? And looking at this, like, if you teach something, like a book I would recommend everybody, I think it is called, my brain just shut down. Strength Finders 0.20. Strength Finders 0.20. There's a little assessment. I don't know if it's still like that, but you're blessed to be an empath. Whew, I'm blessed. That's an interesting word, to be an empath. There is a assessment in the back of that book. I took this assessment, probably 18, 19 years ago. And I wanted to be a leader. That's what I wanted to be. But I ended up finding out that I scored much higher on something else. And that's what I scored much higher on something else is actually what I'm doing right now. And that is teaching. My teaching was a little higher than being a leader, right? And now, because I understand some of the things that teaching does for me, this is what I love doing. I love to teach. And like, most teachers don't even come close to making what I make, right? And it's just because I don't comply to the ordinance and all the things, appliances and all the things. Like, I don't have a teaching degree, don't want one, have no desire to do it. And I ended up making a lot more than most of them just because I've created my own stuff. I figured out what short circuits people and what they want to create. I understand what it means to accelerate their lives. I understand what holds people back. I understand what it takes to move through those thresholds. I understand what keeps most entrepreneurs held back. This is what I've done for over 30 years, is study entrepreneurs and my own journey, right? And because I've done that, I'm able to support other people in what it is that they want to do in their lives. I used to train for network marketing companies. Like, I did a video. I haven't done it yet. In fact, everybody on TikTok, if you could do me a huge favor, if you're on here, if you could share it with a bunch of people, that would be awesome, because what I'm going to be sharing here is really, really, really important. But I shared Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. What do I mean by that? It means when you have a dream, all the limiting talk that comes up that snuffs out the potential of that dream being put into a whole other view is super important to understand, because see, understanding the different vibrations of consciousness, the different levels of consciousness is really important. I'm going to be going over this in the ROI Accelerator Challenge. That's why I keep saying go to the ROIAcceleratorChallenge.com, because I'm going to keep saying it until you're sick of hearing it, because this is my best work that I've ever done. And I have all the evidence. The thing that separates me from any other trainer or coach out there is the results my clients get. My clients get massive, massive results as a result of going through the things that I teach them. So I'm going to do everything I can to get people to invest in themselves so that they get to experience what everybody else gets to experience once they work with me, right? If you had to cure for cancer, how tenacious would you be in putting that message out there so that people would actually take what it is that you have to offer so that it could save their lives, right? That's why I'm so passionate about this, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm so glad to hear that. Original Borrowed Mule. By the way, what is your name? Like, I know it's not Original Borrowed Mule. So let's get into this. So there's 4 levels of delivering value. How you deliver value is going to determine how much wealth you create, right? And so let me share my screen, and let me see. I'm going to do this one. Okay, boom. I'm going to do this. Everybody, get over to potentialzonegroup.com. Hey, Bobby, it is awesome to meet you. Get over to potentialzonegroup.com, and you'll see exactly what it is that I'm teaching over there. Now, let's see. I believe this is going to be right. So this bottom one is awareness. So if everybody wants to draw a line across their paper and put underneath it awareness, that's going to be really helpful for you. Because with awareness, what awareness does is your bandwidth, your cognitive ability to be able to process information, right? So there was a great influencer that walked on this earth once upon a time. Everybody knows who it is by the name of Jesus, right? And his disciples asked him a very, very, very important question. They said, "Teacher, tell us, why do you teach in parables?" And Jesus' answer was brilliant. Now, I'm going to share this in a way that's going to expand what you see as possible just by understanding linguistics, okay? Jesus says, so that those who are ready to hear will hear, those who are ready to see will see, right? Robert for short. All right, got it. Got it. So is understanding that we can look at that through the eyes of duality and go, we either get it or we don't, right? So those who are ready to hear will hear, those who are ready to see will see. It's either we get it or we don't. Well, that's not actually what happens when it comes to us stepping into our greatness and understanding something, because there's things called levels of comprehension, okay? And what I mean by that is you can listen to something over and over and over and over. Every single time you listen to it, it's going to be different because you are processing and assimilating the content at a deeper level, so you're able to process things that you didn't before, okay? Excuse me. Like when you rewatch a movie, it's a different movie because you've already gone through it one time, and now you pick up on different idiosyncrasies that you weren't able to see the first time that you went through it, right? So having awareness of this supports you in being able to process things at a much higher level, okay? So let's talk about the 4 levels of delivering value, right? And this is where we get into drawing it up like this and drawing it up like this, is what expands as you move up the different levels of delivering value, right? So let's talk about this. So the very first level is theologian or something else. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could ask that in a different way, Robert, that'd be great. So the first level is what we call the task level, right? This is trading time for money, right? So you do a task and you get something for it. You can do piecework, right? Or you can get paid by the hour, and in that hour, you're delivering certain skill set that gets you a certain amount of pay, right? You cannot go very high living in the task level of delivering a value, right? Just because you can only go so far, right? And so you can make maybe 80, 90K, 80 or 90K, right? That's about your level capacity, maybe a little bit higher. There's always an exception to the rule, obviously, right? But you're not ever going to be able to expand into the higher levels of delivering value. So therefore, you're only going to get paid by a certain amount. But as you can see here, this is also your awareness is starting to open up more. So the next level is leverage, right? This is where you're starting to understand how to duplicate yourself, right? Now, this might be management, right? Might be whatever level of management, like you can get management all the way up to CEO, right? But you're still working for somebody else, right? Now you start getting up in this, you're starting building teams, you're starting to duplicate who you are. You're overseeing a number of people that are doing things from your guidance, right? So now you're creating videos like what I'm doing here, being able to put a piece of content out that speaks to a lot of people, because it doesn't matter if there's 15,000 people on this TikTok or if there's 5. It still takes me the same amount of effort for me to be able to communicate, and how many people it lands on, it just is how many people it lands on, right? So this is about leveraging, right? So with this, you can even possibly even get up into the high 6 figures, right? Very rarely, right? We'll put, oops, let me back that up. We'll go high 6 figures, but you can start getting up into the, 80 to 150K, right? It's pretty common. It's pretty common in becoming management and stuff like that. But again, it depending on how high you go up with this, right? Then you get up into the next level. This is a very, 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 very important level. This is called communication. Okay. So when you're able to communicate, you're able to articulate what it is that you're actually going to do for somebody. Like, this is communicating. Like, I have a book that communicates a message, and through people reading that book, they are building a relationship with me. Like I've said this many, many times, that says my whole intention is to get people to take me to bed with them, because I cannot change their lives being on a 15, 20-minute Zoom or a live here. I need to get them to take me home with them so that I can give them more and more content so that it assimilates at a deeper level. And so being able to do this is another level of what it is that you want to create. Get me to 5,000 likes, I'll get you a copy of my book. Okay. So really important. I see your question, but it's not in regards to what we're talking about. I'll address it. Actually, I don't have any comment on that. Tell me what you think about being a lobbyist. So communication is super, super important, because communication, you can literally be able to enroll people into whatever it is that you want to do. I got a good brother of mine, makes he did $4.3 million in 45 minutes, right? And so this is what's really, really important, and being able to articulate things in a way that is captivating. Understand that it's not relationships that break down, it is lack of clear communication that causes the relationship to break down, right? So this is why communication is super, super powerful. And if you do not understand influence, then somebody else does, and it makes you very, very, very vulnerable, right? Again, this is why I want people to join the ROI Accelerator Challenges, because I'm going to be teaching you some stuff. I promise you, the media does not want you to know, because this is my mission. I am watching what they are doing is literally breaking people's lives apart, right? This is why I'm so passionate about this, because you deserve to know. There are reasons that you were not taught how to manage your inner world in school. There's reasons, right? Because if you know how to manage it, then they can't control you anymore. Just FYI on that, right? So I want you to understand how influence works, because effective seduction, hear what I'm telling you, effective seduction is not recognized, which means you don't even know that you're being seduced. That's effective seduction, right? And if you understand, people of the powers to be, right, understand that, well, most of them are lawyers or run through lawyers or stuff like that. And lawyers are master linguists. They are very, very good at getting people to believe in the narrative that they want people to believe. They are masters at it, right? And this thing called sleight of mouth, right? Like, I'm going to tell you that it's over here so that I can do all this stuff behind you. There is reasons why Johnny Depp's trial went ballistic and viral. They made it go that way so that they could take care of some other things that they don't want people paying attention to. They've done it over and over and over. And if you understand this, then it starts making sense of how, see, if you're not able to understand it, you're going to buy into it. And as soon as you start giving it your attention, you are getting entangled into it, right? And so the more entangled you get into it, the more they're going to operate at what goes on in your inner world. Friends, I'm human. Like I can still get caught up in this. Like most of the stuff I watch on TV is recorded so I can fast forward through the commercials, but I still study commercials just so that you could like, here's a commercial that I'm going to share with you. Like I used to teach men's groups. Like I taught at a very high level, thousands of men. And it's like a 3-year curriculum that I take people through. And what I would do is, I apologize, please send me the link again to where I need to go. It is ROIacceleratorchallenge.com, or just send me a DM and I can send it to you that way as well. It's just the link's in my bio. The link's in my bio. Okay. But getting people to know what it is that grabs their attention, right? Fear and anger keeps you from seeing what is true. Fear and anger is what keeps you from seeing and true, right? It's not truth, like the truth, like some of you have a belief about the truth, right? But it's being able to see what is your truth, right? And when you're afraid and when you're angry, you're not able to get up into courage and willingness and acceptance and all the higher levels of consciousness, because you're down here in a lower vibration that allows you to makes you super, super vulnerable, people, right? And this is why communication is so, so, so important. As you can see, communication, your awareness greatly opens up, right? Because everything, everything is communicated, right? Like they've got advertisings now that are cartoons for people with, I can't remember what it is, which is a good thing so that it's not installed in my head. Around OCPD, I think is what it is, the breathing thing. It's showing a cartoon of a wolf blowing down, like the wolf, the 3 little pigs and the wolf. I think that's what it is. I don't remember all that stuff, but it's about a little wolf, and this grandfather is talking to his children. They are installing programs into the child's mind that will later play out as an adult. Okay. Understand, 75% of what you access in your entire life was by the age of 5. 75% of what you access in your entire life was by the age of 5. Oh, by the way, here's one that I just found this out. And I love this stuff. I just found this out. Coyotes run way faster than a roadrunner. Like, that just blew me away when I heard that tidbit on TikTok the other day. I was like, dang it. There's another thing that I got hoodwinked, right? So again, they can tell you what to perceive. They can tell you what to believe, right? You have been awake since I was conceived. Yeah, you have been installed and programmed since you've been conceived. Just understand, like it started when we were first born. Like go look up the whole history of the educational system. Go look up how we've been indoctrinated, because when we are a child, we are in our imprint years, right? We are in a totally different brain frequency. We haven't even developed a conscious brain for us to be able to filter things, right? Like we have been programmed to show up in a much different way than what we are when we start waking up, right? So communication, you're starting to get up into the arena. You can make multiple 6 figures. So I'll just put multiple 6 figures here, right? Then the top rung, meet my straw man, right? Acme, right? So the top one, this is the top level of delivering value, which means at the top level, you get to make the most amount of money, okay? And it is called imagination and creation, right? So I want you to think about this. The earning potential and the awareness at that level is infinite. There's no parameters on it, right? Because, and this is what's super important once you get to this level, is that, like, think of Airbnb. Here I don't know how big a company is. It's massive. It's massive. Like Airbnb is massive, and it has no inventory, right? See, this is one of the things that I did when I was selling jewelry online. I had a multi-million-dollar inventory online, and I had none. Well, I had some, obviously, in person. I was able to make an entirely digital, virtual category, and I didn't have any of it, right? And so when I started this journey of becoming who I am, and a speaker and a trainer and a teacher and all of that, the guy that I was mentored to me the first time, he said, do a book called Digital Diamond Mine. It's yet to be made. I still have the domain, Digital Diamond Mine. But out of that is you being able to create virtual products and teaching things that allow people to leverage what it is that they want. Because I created a 7-figure business on selling jewelry online when they told me it couldn't be done. I was one of the biggest jewelry sellers online once upon a time, right? And woke up one day and my entire business was in my email box, right? And so the thing that happens with that is that being able to have that happen, I had to literally reinvent myself, right? And I had no idea how, like, holy crap, I just got divorced. I had that happen, had a dog die. Like, I just went through the season right then that was very, very, very challenging. But in going through that process, I got to learn some things about me and what I was capable of creating. And because I was able to do it back then, I trust myself much more in standing in areas where I am today, right? And so what's really, really important is, how creative are you? How much do you value your ability to create? And see, here's something that stops creation. And a lot of people don't know this, is actually when we were self-editing. Like this book right here, this book, I created this content in 5 hours. I created this content in 5 hours. Now, how I did that was I got some skills in knowing how to create frameworks so that I'm able to deliver content in a particular way. Like you look at ROI, right? ROI, which is, everybody knows return on investment, but that's not how I'm using it. The ROI in my challenge is remember who you truly are, so that you can, because there was a time in your life when you didn't know what guilt was. There was a time in your life you didn't know what limitations were, what doubt was, any of this stuff. We have been conditioned to take all this stuff on. So I want you to remember who you were, your superhuman ability, before you got conditioned to believe all the things that keep you from standing in your greatness. The O is for optimize, right? Like literally learning how to optimize the things that you do within your life, and then being able to create content in a way that sets your soul on fire, right? Like what if you sold, like how many of you could create something that you could sell for $10, right? Like anybody, it doesn't take anything to figure out how to create a product for $10 that you could sell, right? And so what's really important is, okay, cool. If you can create something that you can sell for $10, how much money do you want to make? All right. If you want to make $10,000 a month, that means you only got to sell 1,000 of those a month, right? Well, you start getting clear on what it is that you want to do. Start creating content that feeds people to buy that $10 item, right? And it's going to take a little bit of momentum in the beginning, but then how you can circumvent that is like, okay, cool. Now create something for $100. Create something for $100. Now you only need to sell 100 of them, right? Or create something for $1,000. Now you only need to sell 10 of them. Or sell something for $10,000. Now you only need to sell one of them, right? Everything you do, and I learned this from Brad Richdale. This is back. So there was a time I filed bankruptcy back in 96. I filed bankruptcy. Okay. The reason I did that is because I bought a bunch of courses. Cutting out really badly. Is anybody else having issues with me breaking up? Because my Wi-Fi seems to be working well. How am I doing with everybody else? Okay. Is understanding that if you have moving from A to Z in whatever process that you create with whatever it is that you do, right? So yeah, I'm breaking up. Like my Wi-Fi looks great. Anybody else having connection issues? Okay, are you guys all back on the East Coast? Because there's a lot of things going back on the East Coast. Yeah, I look like I'm good here. Yeah, I don't know. Get over to Potential Zone Group. It's fine now, right? But see, what I did is I bought a number of courses. I expanded too quick. That's what happened when I filed bankruptcy. Like everything I purchased on my credit card was to build my business, right? And I bought into other people's ideas and didn't really find out who they were. One of them, I felt guilty for a past relationship, right? And really, like when you understand how much guilt runs your life, you will be amazed. You'll be amazed at what you can create. But see, 80% of humanity operates in the level called the system. And I'm going to show you this in the ROI Accelerator Challenge. It's way too much to teach on a 20, 30 minute live. There's way too much to teach there, right? So once you understand it's not people that fight, it's levels of understanding that fight, right? Like I get all kinds of comments of people saying things on here and stuff like that. They're taking a tube, like a 30-second soundbite that I'm saying, and they interpret it through their model of the world, and they throw it back thinking that they know what I'm talking about. Okay, I understand that. I totally understand that, right? And it's like I said on the other conversation, our arrogance is what stops us from really understanding people at a whole other level. Yeah, there is guilt-free zones. It's just a matter of you understanding levels of understanding, right? Is because guilt has been used to keep us to stay within the system, right? Like I can go to a funeral and I don't feel sad. Like I feel sad in the sense of like that people are getting up there saying things about this person that's in the coffin, and I'm going, did they ever tell this person that when they were alive? Did they ever tell that person that when they were alive? Like how many times have you gone to a funeral and go, I didn't tell that person this when they were alive? That's sad. That's sad, right? I'm not sad that the person's gone. Like they got out. They got out, right? And just, I'm going to drop this one in there too. I think God has, well, I don't think, I know God has a much different idea about death than we do, right? So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm good on this side. I don't know. So we're going to send the powers to be. Anybody else? Says I've been trying to get on your website for 24 minutes. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just bad connection. I don't know. When we have big storms going on, like what's going on back on the East Coast, it impacts the internet. It just impacts the internet. So yeah, Susan, appreciate you being here. Yeah, just keep trying. The class doesn't start until tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you sign up, when you sign up for the ROI Accelerator Challenge, be sure to do the VIP because you're going to get some coaching. And when you get coaching from me in a group setting, it is powerful. Like magic happens. Magic happens at an extraordinary level. So I want to do everything that I can to get people to step into that. So what I was going to share earlier is, see, your self-editing is what stops your creation. I am not a writer. I'm not a writer. I do not consider myself a writer. I'm an author. I'm a creator, right? And it has taken me 30 some years for me. It's taken me 56 years to get here. It's taken me that long for me to get here. So they're saying, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It says that somebody over here saying that they can, that I'm breaking up as well. I don't know. It is saying I'm on. Apparently, there we go. I just lost everything too. Maybe it's my connection. I don't know. Sorry, everybody. I guess I'll just get off then. That's too bad. I hope you guys all saw what I saw. Get over to potentialzonegroup.com. You'll see everything that I did. The recording is going to be there. The graph and the stuff that I drew is going to be over there. So get over to potentialzonegroup.com. You'll be glad you did. And then join the ROIAcceleratorChallenge.com. It starts tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you join the VIP, so that you can get some coaching and get into the group. If you got any questions, anything that happens, message me through Facebook Messenger or through TikTok, whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. Yes, I seen it. Cool. Awesome. And hey, there she is, Goofy Girl 85. She's amazing. If you're not following her, you need to follow her. She's amazing. So yeah, do everything you can to be a part of it. And I'm going to actually be jumping on here in a little bit tonight to get some people's intentions clear about what it is that they want to experience from that. This is the best training I've ever done. This is going to be this is going to be the best training I've ever done. And I've done a lot. So I am really excited to bring this to everybody. I haven't done a training like this. I haven't done a training like this since the beginning of this year. And yeah, I'll show you how to take whatever it is that you want to create and make it happen. To an entirely different level. So I appreciate everybody sending the loves, appreciate the hearts, appreciate you spending your evening with me. And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I will see you in the ROIAcceleratorChallenge.com. I so appreciate everybody. You guys are all amazing. I really appreciate you spending your time with me and allowing me to share the things that I have learned how to overcome. Incredible. Hold on. Hold on. Why am I supposed to hold on? Join me on this for a second. Okay, what am I supposed to join you on? I really appreciate you, darling. Oh, Lily, I appreciate you being here as well. Okay, Goofy Girl, what are you talking about? I'm getting somebody here that's enrolling me into something. I want to make sure that join me on this for a second. What am I joining you on? I got people saying my connection is not good. So I'm going to end right here. And I'm going to stay here on TikTok for a little bit and see what she has to say. But I appreciate everybody being here. Again, get over to roiacceleratorchallenge.com and I will see you there. Much love. Be blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do another live tomorrow, probably about 3 o'clock. So much love. Take care.